Never be number one. Marvel fans didn't see Dakota Johnson's Madame Web thriving on Netflix after an embarrassing box office run. Madame Web makers may have a reason to celebrate with its new record on Netflix. Dakota Johnson's Madame Web was one of the most embarrassing films of the year. The film recently started streaming on Netflix and has surprisingly become the number one film on the streamer. Despite being a flop at the box office, the film seems to have found a new lease of life on Netflix. Dakota Johnson rose to prominence in the 50 Shades trilogy and captured audiences' interest as an actress. She has gone on to star in small-budget indie darlings such as Our Friend, The Peanut Butter Falcon, Cha Real Smooth, and The Lost Daughter. The actress recently transitioned into the superhero genre with Madame Web. Unfortunately, the film turned out to be mediocre and a big box office bomb. Marvel fans deemed it one of the worst entries in the franchise, and they have mocked several unintentionally funny moments in the film. But it seems all that chatter about the film has boosted its interest among general audiences as the film has shot to number one on the Netflix charts. Dakota Johnson's Madame Web dominates Netflix charts. Despite being a flop, Dakota Johnson's Madame Web looked like a promising entry when it was first announced at Sony. An actress mostly known for her work on beautiful indie gems agreeing to work on a big superhero film led to audiences believing the project might be a special one. The inclusion of Sydney Sweeney and Isabella Merced further raised excitement for the film. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a colossal misfire on every level. The nonsensical plot, the wooden dialogues, and the subpar performances greatly affected the film and led fans to deem it one of the most disappointing Marvel entries in recent years. After the bombing at the box office, the film made its way to Netflix on May 14, 2024. All the online chatter and mockery of the film has developed a significant curiosity about the film, as it has now become the number one film on Netflix's US charts via screen time on X. This is quite surprising considering how the film was trashed by everyone who saw it, and there seems to be nothing redeeming about it. Some people were surprised by the news. Others pointed out that people are just watching it out of curiosity and the cast of the film. Here are some of the reactions on X. Audiences seem to have been fascinated by all the online chatter and wanted to check it out for themselves. For a film that was highly criticized, it seemed to have found a new lease of life on Netflix. Fans can check out the film on the streamer and form their own opinions about it. Dakota Johnson blasts Hollywood studios for being afraid to take risks. Dakota Johnson has starred in mostly small-budget or indie dramas in her career. Even after starring in a budget superhero film like Madame Web, indie films continue to be her jam. She recently made a small indie drama called Daddio with Sean Penn, which took a lot of convincing for the studios to back it up. In a new interview with L'Officiel, Johnson criticized studios for being too comfortable with things that are guaranteed hits and safe projects. She criticized that no one wants to be creative and take risks anymore, and playing it safe has become boring to her. The actress said, "We made a movie called Daddio that was sold at Telluride to Sony Classics, which was amazing, but it took a lot of fighting to get that made. People are just so afraid, and I'm like, why? What's going to happen if you do something brave? It just feels like nobody knows what to do and everyone's afraid. That's what it feels like. Everyone who makes decisions is afraid. They want to do the safe thing, and the safe thing is really boring." In addition to Daddio, releasing on June 28, 2024, Johnson is also starring in Past Lives director Celine Song's upcoming rom-com Materialists. She will star alongside Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal in the film. The film is expected to be a love triangle and is currently in production. Materialists is expected to hit theaters next year.